KLPGA champion, former US Women's Open champion. Down the left side of the ninth. Protected cut line right now, and that's a lovely shot. So important to get it onto that plateau of the green. Distance control there. Open. It's seal he won months ago. It's one of those players who get the sense if he starts to rein it in, get a little bit of control with her shots, she could be nigh unbeatable most weeks. Beautiful setting here, this ninth hole at Jade Palace. Iconic waterfall just to the right-hand side of the green. Such a prominent feature that's been enjoyed by many a professional and amateur throughout the years. Bunker Seal's not having the nicest time on this par 4 though. Taking a penalty drop. And, oh dear, hasn't made it all the way up to that back shelf, and that could be some problems for Bang. Now Thitikul back at 8 to save a par. Already 1 over today. Oh, very nicely holed by the type. Park Hyun-kyung been enjoying some decent play this year. Couple of top 10s already. It still hasn't added to her win tally in the KLPGA Tour. Pair of Busan Open wins. a pair of KLPGA championships back-to-back years, but has not won since 2021. Oh, that one. He's travelling with some heat, a brave effort, but now a testy little comebacker. You'd like to think she was paying attention watching Hyun Kim's ball go trundling on by, but it was going with so much pace. Don't really think it gave Bang Sil any indication of the amount of movement in this putt. It certainly will want to come off the right. Maybe just a touch downhill off that little middle step. Lovely, just a little unlucky. Put a good roll on it, but ultimately pays the price for an errant tee shot, and now she certainly brought the cut line into play. Back down on the tee, Thitikul. We know this tee shot is fraught with danger. Said in her press conference yesterday, key to this golf course, just finding the fairways, because they do tuck the pins here at Jade Palace, and you want maximum control trying to get to some of these locations. Yep, that's a fairway nicely found for the LPGA Tour Rookie of the Year. For a birdie, Kim Lim up on the green is a lovely approach. This one should fall a little left. Oh, and that one stayed straight on her. Did enjoy a good major championship finish at the Evian Championship on the LPGA Tour a couple of weeks back, top 10 in the mountains for Lim, but you can see it's been a bit of a difficult day. Double at the first, bogey at the second. Out to the start of the back nine here at Jade Palace. Remember, this was yesterday, very first hole for Hwang Yeo-min. Drove it on this par 4. It's a great little risk-reward hole. You wish you see more of these on the KLPGA Tour. Just creates so much more excitement and drama. The pin today a little bit further up on the left-hand side of the green. It's certainly very reachable. From great elevation up the top of this 10th tee. Looks like it's leaked a little right. It does open up a bit down there, so that should be okay. Now Hyun Kim's comeback over par at 9. It's frustrating, just a little too aggressive with that chip shot. He's going to fall back to 1 under. I believe that was a provisional ball off the tee for Yomi. It's still right, but that should be only about 10-15 yards right of the green. And Shinsil tidies up for her par. A bogey, excuse me, after finding the penalty area. And Fox onto that 2-over par mark, perilously perched near the cut line. Now look at this vista that the players face coming into 9. Thitikul and long-time caddy Kong Banprot. Just trying to size up the numbers. She's got a good experienced bagman for her. Kong's caddied for a number of big Asian Tour players, including King Kong, Chai Nirat. Knows a thing or two about managing long hitters. Want to be on that back shelf. In high left, that leaves you a decent opportunity for birdie. Leak it out a bit right. Could be a tester. Not bad. She's on the putting surface, but he just caught that one a little off the bottom of the club. The birdie look for Thitikul. Took last week off. Did Park Ji-young leader on the points race. This is Hyo Da-bin just chopping it out of the thickish rough on the right hand side. Should have some release on this. Took last week off, as I was mentioning. Leads the points list. This is a scary second shot out of a heavy lie over water. But she's played that well. It's not going to hold on to the back edge of the green, I think. Just roll through. And that's nicely managed from the lady who's now bagged 6 wins on the KLPGA Tour. Park Min-ji, who leads the way after following up her 68 yesterday with a lovely round of 70 this morning. Lee Da-yeon, and that was more like it from the 2021 champion. A 67, best of the week, gets her up onto the first page of the leaderboard and to 3 under par. Here on day 2 at the Hanwha. depends on the lie here. Not an overly complicated shot in front of her. It's just reading how this ball's going to come out of this tangly rough. And that's a little bit pacey for this year's match play champion, Eugene. Reads up ahead with Hwang Yo-min at 10. Swack on that one. She's done well to advance it that far. Not the biggest player out on the KLPGA tour. Yeah, Thitikul up and over that slope. Should move off the right for the tie. Doesn't come back that much, and certainly not at that pace. The greens at Jade Palace, well, they've got some sting in them. Dried out a little bit. Starting to roll out a little bit more. Definition of a great risk-reward par 4. To take on the green, you can walk off with a 2 or a 3. A little bit errant. Could be dropping 1 or 2. Now back to 9 in Park Ji-young. Good pace on that for Park. Should walk away with a 4. At the first event of this new wraparound season. The end of the year last year in Singapore at the Tanah Country Club, the inaugural Hanwha Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Yeah, Jung Yoon-ji. Very nearly got into a share a third with that, but again, it's another assured performance for Yoon-ji. She's got a game that sets up well for major championships. Peerless ball striker. Just needs the putts to start cooperating. And that's not exactly stone dead. Oh, Yo-min. She'll drop at least 1 to start the back 9. This is a lot more work than Sung Yoo-jin would have liked for her par at 9. You miss fairways, you miss greens at Jade Palace. I expect to escape all the time. Now back to 10. Oh, and Hyo Da-bin drops 1 in from about 25 feet. Good birdie. Will take her up to 2 under par. Thitikul with the tester. Remember, opened with a 68 yesterday. Well hold. So 37 to the turn for the former world number 1. Making her KLPGA Tour debut this week. This season, I should say. Played in Singapore at the end of last year. Now Yo-min for her bogey at the 10th. Going to be a bit of a wait back on this tee. Going to be 2 groups on the 10th in just a minute. Just happened with reachable par 5s and drivable par 4s. Okay. Drops just the 1. Magnificently back in 22 to win her first title, the Lotte Championship at Bears Best in Cheongna. That's a tough golf course. And then bested the field at the Doosan match play for a second tour title earlier this season, but a drop shot for Sung Yoo Jin at 9. That moves her back into a share of 45th. And that's brought the cut line into play for the now two-time KLPGA Tour champion. No one said it was going to be easy. Jade Palace, a formidable test for these ladies. The perfect stage for the 20th edition of the third major of the season, the Hanwha Classic. No question, Bang Shin-sil has the power to get there on 10. Oh, I mean, look at that. She's carried that halfway up the green. And she's going to have that for eagle. Goodness me, isn't she fun to watch? had a difficult day, to say the least. Battling hard to make that cut. Needs a couple of birdies. We know she's well capable. At 6 over par, as things stand, that is not going to cut the mustard. Yeoman continuing her adventures around the back nine at Jade Palace. She's now in the left rough on 11. I'm just gonna trundle to the back edge of the green. That's okay. Oh, and that's a beautiful roll there. Very, very nicely holed. One of our featured groups on the 10th green. One just waiting back on the 10th tee. Gives you a lot of time to stew and ponder. How do you want to tackle this 300-meter par 4 that plays more like 250? From great elevation up near the clubhouse, you work your way down and through this valley in Chuncheon. Really made a lot of headlines when she finally turned pro. Winner of the 2019 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, Atia Thitikul. Several events in her homeland of Thailand as well. Kim Hei Lim was already a major champion by the time Thitikul turned pro. She's just through the back of this green with her second shot. Now pitching back up the slope. The club just got tangled up in that rougher touch for Lim. So under the cloche to avoid a bogey here. Yeah. Good to see Jenny Shin playing back in South Korea. LPGA Tour star. Currently 1 under par, and there's a chance to get it to 2. Now Hyun Kyung also just through the back of the green. Her second shot, so a long-range birdie look for Park. Going to come up just shy. ENG had it bang on line. Just got the distance wrong. I don't think she knows that's actually through the back edge of the green. Shinsil for an eagle. This would jump start her round. Just a little low. She'll have to settle for the 2-putt birdie to recover the shot. She just dropped at 9, so she'll move back to 1 over for the championship. Kyo Da Bin ahead at 11. Pins in that right-hand segment of the green today. Yeah, pretty good. Known as Gino. So many of the Thais have nicknames. Gino Chat. Tremendously popular player. Does a lot of work with her coach Chris Asawami Mompon back in Thailand. The only coach she's ever had. What a partnership that's been through the years. Oh, majestic. Lovely tee shot there from Thitikul. She's pin high for an eagle at 10. feel at worst she's going to get back to where she began the day at 4 under par. ENG is chipping back off the fringe. This is par 5. Oh, just bellying a wedge. It's a play you don't see very often. Not bad. So you take the leading edge of the club, sort of hover it along the equator of the ball and almost have it roll out like a putt. Craftily done by Jung Yun-ji. Oh, so young. From long range at 11. Yeah, pretty well mustered for pace there. 3 over par yesterday, 3 over par for her round today, and that was just due to a very ugly triple bogey back at the 4th. Now Shinsil at the 11th. Yeah, Jenny Shin for her birdie up at 12. This would get her up into the top 5. Yeah, well done, Jenny Shin. That's a good fall. It's a bit of lateral sway going back, but squares it up beautifully. Gets onto her front side nicely at impact. Not going to be near as far down the fairway as Bang Shin-sil, but she's on the fairway. Mission accomplished at 11 for Park Hyun-kyung. Kim Hae-lin. So he gets in a good position at the top of the backswing. Nice wide spot at the top. The hands as far away from the chest as possible. Gets good width, good turn, and thus generates good speed. Yeoman from the just off the back left edge on 11. A little downhill to start, then flattens out as he gets to the cup. Yeah, good pace there. Steady par after her drop at 10. Leads the Rookie of the Year race over Kim Min-byul by just 28 points. That is very much on a knife edge right now as Jung Yun-ji hopes to clean up for a 5 at 12. And clean up she does. Dabin, lovely shot in here to 11. And not going to yield a birdie. In fact, that was for a par. So Hyo Da-bin is going to drop back to even for her round and one under for the tournament. And Park Ji-young just off the right edge of this 10th green. Going to be a slow putt. He tilts from left to right. Okay, good positive stroke for Park. Should walk away with a par. negotiate it, but that's a drop shot for Hyo Da-bin. Thitikul, after finding the green with her tee shot, has an eagle opportunity. They've had a decent idea of the line and pace of this, watching Park Ji-young's from that lower level. Just a little tentative for Thitikul. Now Jenny Shin up at the par 3, 13th. Perhaps just a negative thought entering the mind of Jenny there, so the right thing, stepping back, going into that routine again. Pitched it pin high, just veers off right, and ooh, it looks like that's rolled into a rather heavy lie in that right-hand rough. Going to be a little tester. Thitikul to get herself back to even par for this second round. Okay, well done. Takes advantage of that good tee shot. Walk off with a simple two-putt birdie, and Thitikul, it's back to within 2 of her overnight co-leader, Park Min-ji. Min-ji, she just floats a high fade into this right pin position. Stay there, stay there. Just off the right edge, but that's okay. Beyond that slight upslope as well, so a relatively straightforward chip as Hyun Kyung set to come into the 11th. Nice angle in from the left side of this fairway. Just going to tug that into the left rough. Bit of a misjudgment there from Park Hyun Kyung. On a slight upslope, which will help her launch this up into the air. Should want to come down a little bit softer and stop a touch quicker. Dug its heels in, but it's a green in regulation. Looking well down on this. Looks to be a flighty little wedge left into this hole for Shinsil. That's the 9-9, just trying to track one in, control the trajectory and spin. Yeah, beautifully done. Power is a great asset if you can take advantage with shots like that. He's given himself an excellent look for birdie at this par 4. So why don't we have a look at this 11th hole at Jade Palace. You've got a trio of bunkers in the distance. The player's going to be trying to keep it between the second and the third traps. There's a little bit of an upslope that the ball will pitch into, so you don't expect too much run in this fairway, particularly with the slightly softer conditions that have greeted us in Chuncheon this week. You come uphill to this green, Out up by one bunker short of the pin on that top shelf today. You don't think that front trap's going to come into play. Certainly need to be up on that back step to have any sort of reasonable look at a birdie 3. Thitikul, very adept at moving the ball both ways, so she can start it in between the second and third bunkers and just hit a little peeling fade off that. She's got some gears. When she wants to shift it, she can poke it out there almost as far as Bangchin Sil. And that's saying something. One place wide open for Park Hyun-kyung, trying to toss this almost all the way to the hole. Going to carry that down slope, try and pitch it in the flat, have a bit more control how this ball reacts. Just pitched on that trail part of the downslope, but well judged. So Eugene quietly become a very steady contender week in, week out on the KLPGA Tour. Aylin ahead at the green. It's looking a little bit racy, and well, the former KLPGA Championship winners, putting Dutch, has been a little heavy-handed today. What a performance she put on at Ildong Lakes that week to win her second KLPGA major. Now, Ji Young. Not much wrist hinge at the top of that backswing. Keeps the club fairly neutral. Yeah, that's okay for Park. Be seeking her first major championship on tour. She's 6 shots back at the moment. Still a lot of golf to play in this 72-hole championship. Up on the green, Shinsil, after 2 wonderful shots. Still got to get the job done. It's for a birdie to get her back to even. Oh, and that's just a poor effort. She knew it. She hit it. Backswing just looked a little long. Almost had to decelerate into it. And that's why golf is such a frustrating game. Booming tee shot. Wonderfully played iron. Just walk off with a par. Now to a fellow rookie on tour, Hwang Yo-min. Looking to attack here at the 12th. Come down the hill for your second shot. And, okay, just comes up shy of the green. Shouldn't really be a bother there, even though she is into the second cut of rough. Testy one for Kim Hye Lim. Don't want to leave yourself too many of these for par. Okay, just slips it in the right edge. Stays 3 over. For a good tidy up and down. Day 2 action continuing on here at the Jade Palace in Chuncheon, where Park Min-ji still leads after a wonderful round of 70 earlier this morning. Just unable to get it to that back level of the green, Thitikul, so the roll back of that little ridge, leaving her a rather lengthy putt. Big wide stance here for Jenny Shin, trying to lower that handle. Suppose the leading edge hit a high flop, and that is tastefully played by Jenny Shin. Dubby unable to get home in 2 at 12, so this now her third. Okay, a little deep, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem there. We'll have an uphill putt. Now this is makeable for Chung Yun-ji. A straightforward little pitch and run. Took a big first bounce. Give it a good try. Yeoman has a stance, no problem, but she'll be landing this on a slight downslope. It will work off her left, so almost has to throw this out halfway between the pin and the left fringe. Keep going. Whoa, Just needed a little more pace on that to get up under that step. Still, it's a decent look at birdie. You see, that was that slope that Thitikul's second shot landed into, and taking the wrong side of it, leaves her a almost 60-foot putt from the front edge of the green. She was going to come up that same slope, which will kick the ball left, and just go straightening out as it approaches the pin. One of those times where you're kind of glad that you can leave the flagstick in these days. And all things considered, that's pretty nicely judged. Still has about 4 feet left. Good effort from long distance for Thitikul. Darbeen outside. Opportunity for a 4 at the 12th. Just going to drift by the right edge. It's okay though. They score under par right now. You're doing well. Minji's target only 6 under. It's all about jockeying for position. It's all about trying to make sure you play the weekend. And the cut will be low 60 and ties here. Eugene. So Hwang Yo-min in this similar position a little bit earlier on. But that's a much better result for Sung Yoo-jin. Drops one from long range, and that's a nice birdie. Take her back to even par. Good start to the back 9. Birdies on 10 and 11. Yo-min for her 4 ahead at 12. No, just a little pacey. Give that one a good run. ENG, long way in on 14, up the hill from 173. Doing what she does best, just finding fairways and hitting the middle of greens. Jenny a couple yards closer. At first, we'll drop back to Yo-min cleaning up for her par. Okay, no problem. So Jiang just off the back right edge at the 11th, but reasonable look for a 3. She's a plodder. Who knows? She just needs to be there or thereabouts come Sunday. And anything can happen in the professional game, particularly with a major championship on the line. The Hanwha Classic, one of the 5 majors on the KLPGA Tour. KLPGA Championship, the Korea Women's Open, the Hanwha Classic, and the KB Financial Group Star Championship, and we end things at Blue Heron Golf Club with the Haight Jinro in October. It's a good two-putt for Ataya Thitikul to remain level on the day and 2 shots behind Park Min-ji. At 12, certainly in range for Bang Shin-sil and perhaps Mei Lim as well. Both of them just through the fairway into the right-hand rough. It's going to be Shin-sil first to play. Ball's nestled down slightly, so this ball's a little bit further back in her stance. Just trying to trap it, squeeze it out of that rough. Okay, not bad. A little bit wide, but leaves herself a better angle with ample green to work with for that pitch shot. Hit on 14, Hwang Yo-min. Rescue going to be a popular club off this tee today. Just off the heel and not where you want to leave yourself on 14. Big mound to pitch up and over, so some problems for Yo-min. Actually in the fairway, fooled by that graphic earlier. Good chance to pick off a birdie here, but she, like Shin-sil, just leaves that a little right. Dabin. Keep this a little left. She's going to leak it just right at the green as well. A couple of squirrely tee shots from Yo-min and Dabin. Slightly out of position, this group, so they're going to go racing on down, trying to keep up pace of play. We are a touch behind where we were yesterday for the opening round. For Park In-kyung, no option to go for the green in 2. Certainly not the longest player on the KLPGA Tour, so very much opting to play this 12th the traditional way as a 3-shotter. But she's left herself quite a long second shot in and has not done a very good job with the layup. That looks like it's just finished up into that slightly heavier right rough. Now, has to be smart about this. Don't want to take a direct line at the pin because it's protected by a couple of mounds short. Easy for this ball to go caroming off sideways or through the green. So just look about 20 feet right. Give yourself a chance. Yeah, good play there. Very smart shot from Park In-kyung. Thitikul back on the tee. Good scoring section of the golf course here. 10, 11, 12. Can find a couple of birdies. We turn back up the hill for the difficult par 3 14th. Shin-sil on this angle has almost the entire length of the green to work with. Traverse a couple of humps and hollows, but the last 15 feet of this shot's going to be uphill, so it's got to be traveling with some steam to make sure that it can get up to that little plateau. Too much deep, just pitched it a touch too far, and that's just clumsy from Bang Shin-sil. Pretty poor pitch there from Kim Lim. Really would have expected better, certainly off the tee shot. Darbin looking well out to the right here. And drop it onto that fringe. Everything will kick hard left. ENG will pretty happily settle for a two-putt par. There's Shin-sil. Still not on the green here after 3 at the 12th. And she is still not within par range, because that is a good 8 feet away. And a hole where she's thinking 4. She's now played 4 and is still not guaranteed a par. Just a little untidy, unfortunately, for Bang Shin-sil. It's what we've seen a touch too often from the youngster, but she'll learn. Ji Young is a heavy lie in that left rough, and it looks like a heavy lie for her third as well. Just illustrates the point. Such a premium on driving accuracy here, and oh dear, well off the straight and narrow. Hwang Yo-min trying to chop the legs out from under it at this 13th. It wasn't bad. I mean, really wasn't the easiest shot that she's left. And both she and Darbin struggling for pars at this unlucky 13th hole. Sung Yoo-jin also missed the fairway off the tee. Trying to poke one down, get it running on this fairway. Yep, that's well played. A birdie look for Kim Lim, but it's a lengthy one. Can't do much more than that. She liked the look of it. She'll have to just be content with a par. Good. Just hit the brakes. Hyun Kyung. In the case of the tortoise and the hare here, both her playing partners going for the green into. Lim just mustering a par. Shin-sil still struggling for her par, but Park Hyun Kyung, she's got this for a birdie 4. Good effort. That a par is the best that Park can do. Back in the fairway, Thitikul. He's not even tempted to go for this because this is a layup for Ataya. Came out of the bottom groove and she's going to be about 6 inches off the fairway, but that's going to make a huge difference for Ataya. Maybe just didn't fancy that downhill lie as we go up to the green and Shinsil for her part. That's just a real gut punch for Bang. With her length, bogeys and par fives, well, they're almost cardinal sins, really. Hong Yo-min, can she salvage a par at 13? No, she can't. Pays the price for a poor tee shot at the par 3. A little bit further ahead, Jung Yin-ji at the 15th. 160 meters, the shorter of the par 3s on this backside of the golf course, and another green safely found. Just a ball left for Yoda Bean's par putt at the 13th. Yeah, good scrambling save there for Hyo. Avoids a drop shot and she'll keep her total in red figures. Really have to rely on her lie reading skills here for Park Ji-young. We can't see the ball from this camera angle. Looks like a pretty thick lie for Park. We'll have to allow for some release, and unlucky just pitched on that downslope and trundles through the green. Eugene should be able to get a good amount of spin on this coming out of the fairway. Yeah. Stops nice and quick. Gives herself the uphill putt. We'll take a Thitikul. We'll have to look a little bit right here on this angle. That front mound off the back of the bunker very much in play if she takes a direct line. Trying to hoist this one up in the air and stop it with trajectory, but how can you? Just onto the back edge of the green. Not too bad there, but certainly not what the tie was looking for. Up to 15 and Jenny Ship. Don't want to be short right here on this par 3. Anything past the pin and a little left will do. Darby, long way up the slope on 14 for her second. And after that great scrambling par back at 13, and she's going to have to get the scrambling boots on again because that is bunkered. Kim Kyung, probably one of the best fairway wood and hybrid players in the Korean women's game. You should relish holes like these. Long par threes. Just don't want to miss this right. She's not going to. It's a good smart shot to the heart of the green. Just bang on for distance control once again. Look at that. Almost exactly pin high. Yeomin trying to steady the ship. Back at 2 over par now. Oh, that'll do the trick. All over it. Just a long line needed for the powerful Kim Ae-lim at 14. And that's a good shot as well. Right to the heart of the green. That'll do. Oh, I'm going to chip this one, it looks like, for Atia Thitikul. That's brave. So hard to try and get that club to slide under the ball, get that leading edge down, and maximizing the loft on the club. Maybe just caught that a fraction thin. Shinso also with a 4-iron. I'm watching this one intently, and for good reason. Just left of the flagstick, lovely tee shot. Ji Young just through the green with her third at the 12. Bump this into the bank, have it take some speed off. Took a little too much speed off because that's a tricky little 6-footer for par. Jenny Shin, birdie at 15. Slightly down the hill here, but should stay pretty straight. Good judgment of pace there from Jenny. It's a deep bunker that Hyoda Bean finds herself in. Right back at 14. Plays with a lot of speed and conviction to get this ball up in the air quick. Just needed to land that about 4 yards further up. Pitch dead in that upslope. Well, Sung Yoo Jin looking up a birdie opportunity at 12. Hit it. Hit it. Oh, that is frustrating. Have to settle for par. Chung Ying-ji. Lightly downhill. Don't want to work off her right. Might move left in a hurry. He's trying to come back. Yeah, good effort from Ying-ji. Par chip now for Atia Thitikul. Oh, gave it a brave effort. And that is going to be a bogey for the tie. Drops back down to 3 under par. It doesn't get any better now. We'll make our way up to the demanding par 3 13th. 6 holes left to play in this second round. just be a left edge putt for Park Ji-young, but you got to keep your speed up. Easy to lose this low. Yeah, well done. Good up and out. Keep her at even par. Oh, not bad for 13th. Kim Ailin for her birdie. Touch tentative with the pace, perhaps. Par putter hit at 14 for Darbeen. That is two good up and downs in a row for Hyo Darbeen. She is scrambling her way around. Very tidy work on this back nine. Young for a rare 3-2 at the 13th. Good effort. And then for a good 3 at the 14th to recover a shot. A little low all the way, unfortunately. Can't capitalize on that fine approach. Just the par. Shinsil. She just steadied the ship. No. Sneaking right. Not going to come back from all the way out there. 3 on 13 is a good score, but Bang Shin-sil still fuming after that inexplicable bogey back on 12. Right on the cut line. Can't afford to be dropping shots with 3 putts. Oh no. That is just disastrous for Kim Ailin. A good safe shot to the middle of the green. Paddle starts misbehaving. She's going to go to 4 over par in just a minute or two. Thank you. Bit left in this. Oh no. And that is a 3-putt from out of the blue as well from a lady who has always been one of the most solid putters in the KLPGA Tour. She suffers a bogey at unlucky 13 as well. Why is it tough? Well, it's just because it plays uphill and that length, 176 meters. 2 bunkers front the green. That really shouldn't be coming into play with today's back hole location. Only about 6 paces off the right edge, and very important to clear that central shoulder you see on the right hand side. You leave yourself pin high left. That's the best look at a 2 you're going to have on this green. Safely in that correct section of the green for Sung Yujin. Lovely shot. Too young. She's got a pretty flat ball flight. About 5 paces to carry the false front of the green. If she can pitch this one just past that, she'll get a big kick forward and she can almost chase it up to pin high. That's a friendly kick off that left-hand slope and settles into a decent position. Thitikul, ideally with how high she can hit her irons, she'd be able to send one up into the stratosphere with a little cut. She could get close to this hole if she pulls off the right shot. Oh, that's the right shot, and that is a golden look at a birdie too for Atthaya Thitikul. Highest ranked player in the field, trying to keep pace with Park Min-ji, who has the lead on 6 under par, now out to 15, and Hwang Yo-min. Beautiful shot there, pitched that in the perfect spot. Well into the back 9 on day 2, but the top of that leaderboard hasn't changed. Park Min-ji still leads by 1 over Jun Yi-sung and 2 over Daeon Song-yi and Atthaya Thitikul. Park Ji-young for a birdie at 13. Not going to go, but well, as we've seen before, 3. Very welcome score on this demanding uphill par 3 this week. Eugen should move off her left. It's a pretty flat putt, so she can give this a bit of a run. Absolutely stonking tee shot from Thitikul. He has about 8 feet left for birdie. Should stay fairly straight this one. Certainly don't want to give the hole away. Maybe inside edge with good pace. Leaves the putter face open and leaves a great chance to get back to 4 under par. Out on the 13th hole. Now up to 16, and Jenny Shin with the birdie look here at the par 4. And a birdie putt goes for Jenny Shin. Great 3 there. It's back inside the top 5. Eugen on 14, much like the 13th, start to work your way uphill here, so can have a long way in for your second shot. Certainly helps be coming out of the fairway, particularly the right side of it. That's nice. It's a good 108. Gave that one an extra rip, spun out of it, and that one's leaking right for Park Ji-young. Oh dear, has that gone into some of those gorse bushes right at the fairway? There's all kinds of problems for Park. That's not a penalty area, that's lost ball, so a provisional in play for the lady who leads the points list. Now Yeomin, after that excellent tee shot, will convert for a birdie too. That's a nice one for Hwang Yeomin, taking her back to 1 over par. Thitikul, don't want to wipe it right like Ji-young did. no problem. Safely down the fairway. Good shot there for Hyun Kyung, splashing out of the sand, leaves her about 10 feet for par. Downhill look for birdie at 15 here. Should want to venture just a smidge to the left and stay pretty straight in the last 3 feet or so. Oh, that's a great putt for Koji Yu. Beg your pardon, that was the 17th, and that's an important one. Gets her up to 1 over par. Couple of birdies on 16 and 17 for GU. Gives you a sense of how deep that bunker is. Bunker still pretty tall, almost 1.7 meters in fact, and you can barely see the top of her. Splashes out nicely to escape with a par. Good touch there from Bang Chun Sil. Nice tidy up and down. Going to need to find a birdie or two. Kim Ae-lin. There's an outside chance at 14. Gave it a good effort. It's not going to drop. It's a tricky read, this one for Hyun Kyung. Slightly downhill. It should want to go a little left on her, but it's tough to see that because the general influence on this back section of 14 green is off that bunker slope. See, a lot of players miss this putt right. Let's hope that Hyun Kyung can work it out as she sizes up this par putt. Taking her time over it. Not known to be a brisk player on tour, Park Hyun Kyung. Just burns the left edge, and that's what happens if you find that bunker shot. It's no easy up and down. That's going to be another drop shot for Hyun Kyung, who now falls over par for the day despite that red-hot start, picking up 3 birdies in her first 4. Shinsil can't be more than a 9-iron or maybe an 8-iron into this front pin on 15. Just a touch shy, but no problems on that front edge. Sung Yu Jin, ball slightly below her feet. Tough to access back left pins with a lie like that. Can start down the left edge of the green and cut it back, and she's done a good job with that. That's well played. Decent birdie opportunity if you can get your distance right here. Oh, lovely. Thitikul needs a 5-iron to get to this pin. Take it out towards the TV tower at the back edge of the green. Don't want to miss this left, or worse than that front bunker. Okay, safely to the heart of the green with that 7-iron. So she just has that little bump. She off the top of her backswing onto her left side. Tries to shallow out that club, get back onto her front side. And to follow through, just turn that over a touch. It's on the green, but that's a rather lengthy putt for birdie on one of the shorter par 3s on the golf course. Jenny Shin at the 17th. Front pin position today. Tough to get it to stick when you're coming out of the rough. Yeah, that's the problem. This comes out with no check at all, releases through the back edge. Wins on the LPGA Tour for Thitikul, the summit of the women's game last year. Still inside the top 10. Still with a very bright future and career ahead of her. Park Jae-young been a pro for coming on 8 years now. very established on the KLPGA Tour. He has shown really good form all throughout the last 5 years on tour, picking up 6 wins. Much like a Lee So-mi or a Lee So-young, a major title has eluded Ji Young throughout her stellar career. Remember, wiped a tee shot right into the thick stuff, so had to play 3 off the tee. Now a lengthy putt for bogey. Damage limitation, the name of the game here for Park. And that one needs to go. That needs to go. Oh dear. Not in for double just yet. All of a sudden she has brought the cut line into play. Just 4 holes to go in this second round now. ENG checking in on her progress a little bit further up the back 9. Certainly have to land this short of the green. Yeah, very nicely worked out there for Yunji. Good, clever use of the slope, well judged and well executed. So that'll be to get her up into a share of third. Thitikul, 25 feet up and over this little hump for a birdie. It's got good pace, excellent pace. It's a cast iron 4 for Atthaya Thitikul. Lengthy one for Hyun Kyung ahead at the 15th from that slightly higher left plateau on the green. So you walk downhill, gathering pace, should start to come a little right there. Yeah, not bad. Good read and decent speed on that. Been quietly plodding her way along. She's back at even par now, but a chance to move back into red figures with this at 16. Not going to go. Shinsil from the front edge of 15 should want to go just a touch to her left. Broke a lot more than Shinsil or I thought, and that was under hit as well. Just feel sometimes it's a little bit long and loose with that putting stroke of hers. Has to decelerate quite a bit sometimes. Now back to Sung Yoo Jin. At 14, up and over the rise, it's tracking, but is it got the speed? No. She'll settle for 4. And Jenny Sim pitching back into the breeze on 17. Yeah, just a touch tentative. For a double bogey 6 at the 14th, Park Ji-young. Currently lying second on the money list behind Lee Ye-won. He's already in the clubhouse at 1 under par. A costly double bogey is going to tumble Park Ji-young back down into a share of 40th. Kim Lim, gotta have it to get herself back to 3 over. And she has gotten it. Send cup for Kim Lim. A lovely 2. Moves her back onto the projected cut line of 3 over par with 3 to play. Short-sided bunker shot that she's left herself here. Probably got just enough green to work with. Although with that buried lie, this is going to be coming out tumbling. See there, almost try to feel like you're hitting it and sort of popping into the sand with the hosel of your club. Just get it out. It's going to go tumbling along the Ko Ji-yu. We have seen a couple of good tee shots close to this front pin on the par 3. This one hitting just a touch left. Ooh, gets a nice kick off the top side of that slope. It should feed down. Don't think she meant that, but she'll gladly take it. Thitikul. A lovely shot back into the first par 3 on this backside. A bit shorter here on 15, so it's just an 8 iron. Pretty tidy there from Thitikul. It's going to start working its way down to that hole. Just a touch. She shake off that double bogey back at 14. She's last to go off the 15th tee. Straight over the top of the flag. Not gonna stick, but that's okay. Jenny Shin for her par ahead at 17. No, one step forward, one step back for Jenny. Can't consolidate her birdie at 16, but she'll head to the 18th tee in this second round. 1 over par for the tournament. Right on the fringes of contention, 5 shots behind Park Min-ji. Day 2 action starts to wind down here at the Hanwha Classic. Min-ji still enjoying that 1-shot cushion at 6 under par. She leads the way in the 3rd major of the year. Yun Kyung out of the middle of the fairway on 16. Oh, well. Best shot we've seen of the day into that back right pin position. Surely Hyun Kyung moments away from getting herself back to even par. Ji Young, this one moves pretty hard from left to right, the last third of this putt, but it is for birdie. It's just a bit pacey from Park. Never soft enough to take that slope right, and now a knee knocker to keep herself off that cut line. awkward lie hanging in that right rough, but she's played it well. Just gets a big kick off that downslope. Not as far back as Jenny Shin, so a manageable up and down for Yo Min. Thitikul. Downhill left to right for a birdie too. Not going to stay up. And she's just been stuck in neutral this afternoon. Atia Thitikul. Conditions a little bit trickier than they were in the morning wave. Well, she's hanging in there. She's certainly not one to be counted out over the weekend stages here at Jade Palace. Darbin trouble off the tee, so this now her third into 17. Oh, and she's going to get away with a par. Terrific shot from Hyo Darbin. Love to replicate Kim Kim's approach. Only 98 meters to go. Scary pin to attack, but she can do so with a wedge in hand. Oh, that is wide left for Kim Lim, and she's giving herself all kinds of unnecessary stress coming towards this clubhouse. Look back at 15 for Sung Yoo Jin. Your par then for the match play champion. This is going to require some acceleration for Kim Lim to get it out of this sticky stuff, but not much green to work with. She is pitching into the breeze, which does make this shot a little easier. She's played it well, but that's just a poor miss from inside 100 meters, and she's got that to avoid falling outside the projected cut. Yeoman on 17 just slips it by the right edge, but a great try. Shinsil. Or a birdie to get her back to 1 over. I mean, they're just tap-ins, but really doesn't scare the hole too often this afternoon. Fine-tuning her game, only just in the infancy of her career. You see right there the projected cut. 3 over par. This is the par 5 18th, and birdie look for IK Kim, major winner on the LPGA Tour. Make it through to the weekend here on home soil. Oh, well done. That is a gutsy finish for Kim In-kyung. Stops the rot. There were a couple of bogeys coming home, but she looks to have secured her place in the Hanwha Classic field for Saturday and Sunday action. Now another major champion battling hard to make the cut. She's on that projected mark right now. This is in fact for par for Kim A-lim. We saw that second shot finish up in the left side of the green, pitched up to here. Oh, that's a well-holed putt. She'll breathe a sigh of relief. Just looked a little untidy today, but still at 3 over. Jenny Shin at the last. Back to right up the slope. Oh, it's beautifully worked out from Jenny Shin. Great distance control. Kyung, the simplest of tap-ins to get herself to even par. Yeah, nicely done. Brilliant second. Set that one up. Back to even for the day and the championship. ENG. Right over the stick. That's in that tiny little shelf. So an outside chance for a birdie for Jeong Eun-ji, who's lurking as she's been doing all throughout the season, in the second half anyway. Thitikul on 16. Just into the left rough, and it's going to make the attacking the pin rather challenging there. Saw that a couple minutes ago from Jeong Eun-ji. It's a chance to go into the weekend at 3 under. Oh, grabbed a piece of it. It doesn't drop for Jeong. Safe tee shot down the left-hand side there. Yeah, Jenny Shin. She's gone birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey on this back nine. This to end on a positive note. You know, just enough. Well done. Finish there to the round for Jenny Shin. 2 under par total through 36. ENG for her par. Inside right lip here. Yeah, well done. Nicely holed for Jenny. Jeong Eun-ji. It's going to be a One over par round of 73, but right there again. Lee Dayon 67, the best round we've seen this week. That's gotten the 2021 champion in the clubhouse at 3 under par. The Park Min-ji continues to lead the way here at the Hanwha. Don't want to bring that front bunker into play out of this thick rough. Thitikul ball's below her feet as well, which wants to shoot it out right. Ooh, it looks like she's caught the right greenside bunker. That's going to be a long splash shot. Another test of the ties short game. Lying in a share of second place, courtesy of 3 unanswered birdies in the back nine. She's within one of Park Min-ji's 6 under par lead. A target that has been the number to catch since we came on air just over 2.5 hours ago. long bunker shot. A lot of acceleration required for Atia Thitikul. On a slight upslope as well, which doesn't make things any easier. Like so many of the ties, just very good short games. The job's still not done, but that's a well-played shot. Darby, a little bit ahead, and yeah, that's okay. We'll give herself a look at the 18th for a closing birdie. Wang Yo-min. Should turn one into this left plateau. You bet she can. That's brilliant from Huang. Just a little unlucky, that rolls on. Eugene just off the edge of the green at 16, stayed out of the bunker, so much easier up and down. That's well played. Well, that's a timely time to pop in a birdie for Park Ji-young. 3-putted the last. That gets her back to 2 over and just a bit of breathing room with 2 holes to play. The cut line sitting at 3 over. Now Dabin just lets one drift past the right edge on the 18th. Still been a good couple of days' work for Hyo. Thitikul for a scrambling par at 16. No, knew it off the bat. That was a little right. Just left the putter face open on a couple of short putts today. Maybe something just to keep an eye on for Atia Thitikul, who drops her 4th shot of the day and now tumbles back to 2 under par. Now Yo-min to finish on a high. Not going to stay up, is it? Disappointed with that, but a weekend safely made for Hwang Yo-min, albeit 2 over par. Second shot for An Sung-yi coming towards the end of her round on the other side of the golf course. She's one back. And we're going to come up the wrong side of that slope on the 8th, but she's got room to work with. Yoon Kim chipping off the side of 17, just stops a little quick on her. So Young not going to be around for the weekend, but she could end her tournament well. That's a good birdie. A couple of 75s not going to cut the mustard on the KLPGA Tour. That triple at the 6 ultimately her undoing this Friday afternoon. Back on the penultimate tee, some Eugen. Just going to finish up in that right rough for Sung. Lim downhill on the 17th to get to 2 under. Good effort. Pace was good on that. Line needed a touch of work. That one in for a par. She'll be there or thereabouts come the weekend. You can par through 36 in testy conditions. Fine effort. Two holes to try and find a couple of closing birdies for Atia Thitikul, but that one leaking right. Really nestling down in some of the thicker rough to the right side of 17. So he did not play a very good pitch shot from the left side of good pace on that putt for An. Pretty sure that was a putt for par. We saw that second shot left of the green. Eugen does not look pleased with this lie, and why would she be? You can barely see the top half of her shoes. It is some very thick rough, and to think they've cut it down from the way the course played last year when Hong Ji-won emerged victorious for her maiden KLPGA Tour title. It's still very much a factor. You stray off the straight and narrow at Jade Palace. Muscling it out there and avoids that greenside bunker, and that's a good break. I mean, look at the salad bar that Atia Thitikul finds herself in. Takes a lot of strength to muscle it out of this stuff. The best she could do. It should go trundling along, and well, she's left herself in a decent spot. Yun Kyung at the last. She should know the par at the last will do it. Just trying to prod this one down the fairway. Sung Yi on the other side of the golf course, closest pursuer to Park Min Ji in this afternoon wave. Should just be a formality, this one. Still, not even with her length can she challenge this 18th and 2. Lay up as well. Looks like just a mid-iron for Bang. Leave yourself a little bit further back with that pin on a little step in the green. You'll be coming in with spin, not having to guess whether it's going to release up that ridge or not. Already safely on the dance floor. Thitikul and Sung, both with up and downs to come. Got lucky to avoid that left-hand trap with the second shot, Eugene. Thitikul did well to just get it to within 10 yards of the front edge. Now she's going to come over this little brow, so you want to play these with an open club face and a bit of check. You're pitching on a downslope, but if you can get it to hit the handbrake, it should just trickle out to the hole. There's a lot of feel and acceleration shots like these. Superb. Just goes tumbling on a little bit for Thitikul, but well played. The thing about coming out of the rough is she knows she's not going to have to worry about this checking up quick. She can just drop it on that downslope and have it chase out to the hole. Nicely played. Shinsil can pull this off on 18. Expect the first bounce to be a little bit big. Should grab pretty hard on the second if she clips this nice. That to bite like a police dog. Pretty good. Now back on 17, Park Ji-young. It's gotta go. It's gotta go. Oh, just burns the left edge. Just that costly double bogey. The 14th hole that really set her back. Hyun Kyung getting a little bit flatter than Shinsil's. Gets it to stick nicely. Excellent shot from Hyun Kyung, who's got that to go into Saturday at 1 under par. Thitikul, some tidying up to do for par. Just lacked a little conviction, and that's going to be back-to-back bogeys for the tie. All the way back at 1 under par now. She's fallen outside the top 10. A lady who had a share of the lead coming into today's second round. Jimailin at the last. Fine shot. And that pretty much locks up her place in the field for the closing 36 holes. Been a bit of a slow afternoon of golf at Jade Palace, but you can understand that. Conditions have been tricky. Wind's been swirling a little bit. Greens are firmer. And this par 5 18 is the final hurdle. The eventual winner of this year's Hanwha Classic will have to tackle. Bunker on the right not really going to be in play. Those bunkers on the left would be a good starting point for the tee shots at this 510-meter hole. Pretty wide landing area, it has to be said. But with the tees back for the first two rounds, the landing area certainly does start to narrow up just a touch. You play two good shots, you should be coming in with no more than a wedge, a 9-iron at worst. But that pin today is this hole's main defense. It's tucked up near that bunker on the left-hand side. You can see from the slope arrows on the green, just up on a little step. So it's not easy to get close to, particularly if you're coming into this green out of the rough. Final hole of the day for today's featured group. Park Ji-young set to lead us away. To the other side of the golf course, An Song-lee, in fact, that was for par. It was my eyes betraying me back on 8, so she's only one back. Safely on the green at 9. It's going to be a pretty lengthy putt from the lower tier. Eugene really send one up here. I mentioned earlier on that flyover, pretty wide target. bit of a tough day for her, but she's still right there in the picture. Very keen to find a birdie at this closing hole. Skips forward into the fairway. That's a good break for Thitikul. The feature group make their way up this 18th. A reminder of what things look like at the top of the leaderboard. It's Minji by 1 over Johnny Sung and An Song Yi, who is just coming to the end of her second round this Friday evening in Chuncheon. Layup area easily found there by Sung Yoo-jin at the 18th. And on the green, Bang Shin-sil for a closing 4. Only going to be a par, but another cut safely made for the rookie sensation. The rookie class we have in 2023, Bang Shin-sil, Kim Min-byul and Hwang Yeo-min, the top 3 on that points list. A pair of them already with titles this year. Ji-young. Looks like she lost that a little right and just ends up in that second cut of rough. But at least she's on the right side of the fairway, so she can drop it on the front edge of the green and chase it up the slope if she wants. Thitikul last to play. Makes no mistakes there. Keeps it on the fairway. So that was going to be her key coming into today. She hasn't really managed it, but certainly going to be a huge factor as the course continues to toughen up into the second half of this championship over the course of the weekend. Now Hyun Kyung to go into the weekend in red figures. She got off to a fast start today with 3 birdies in her first 4. Cooled off in the middle, but a nice way to end her day. Birdie on the last for a 1 under par round of 71. An Sung-yi on the 9th, her final hole of the day. Slow putt coming up this tier. It's not that slow, Sung-yi. That's gone racing on past. Or a birdie. That just kind of sums up her day. A little untidy. 3 over through her first 2. Made it unnecessarily interesting for herself coming down the stretch in the back 9 with the cut line looming. It called a 4 over par at one stage before a very timely birdie at 15. Good up and down at 16. Ultimately, it's going to be a frustrating day for Kim Ae-lim, but safely makes the cut. Now An Sung-yi for a closing par. Yes, well done. Good 2-putt. Played very nicely this afternoon, An Sung-yi. It's a 69. That leaves her sharing second place. Just 1 behind Park Min-ji. She'll be in the final group tomorrow afternoon. Thitikul on this angle, not much green to work with, but with a wedge in hand should get this to stop pretty quickly. Bad, but it's not really what she was expecting. 6 out of 10 there for Ataya. Eugene, a little bit further up the fairway. Should be a nice full gap wedge for Sung. Beautifully played right underneath the hole. It'll be a good look at birdie for Sung Eugene. Young coming out of the rough. It's tricky to judge whether this is going to jump or not. It should release. If he pitches this into that slope about 10 feet short of the hole, don't think it's going to kick up. It's either land on the front step and chase it, or try and toss it up in the air and drop it on the correct level. And there's the run through, and ooh, gets lucky. Just stays out. of that bunker. Looks like it might just be up against the collar of rough here for Ji-young, but the club on the back of the ball without any difficulty to scoot it back into stance. This wedge coming in a little bit more vertically, ensure good contact. Just needs to nudge this forward. It should release out. Great touch. Well played there. Come on, Atea. Let's finish on a high note. Still very much in the picture. I'd like to say any player within 5 shots of the lead going into the final round is very much a factor. Any player within 5 shots of the lead with 36 holes to play on this testing golf course certainly cannot be ruled out. Not one of Thitikul's quality. Just about sums up the day for Atea Thitikul. Never really had her feet under her. Good birdie 10, but a couple of drop shots on the back 9 after that leave her just outside the top 10. Going into third round tomorrow afternoon. The Hanwha Classic this year received a bump in prize purse, up 300 million won from last year, so it's the richest prize on the KLPGA Tour this season. 1.7 billion won prize pot. Eugene to join Thitikul at 1 under par. Yeah, very nicely done. Lovely way to end the day for Sung Yoo-jin. She's another dangerous lurker. It's been a great inward half of 33 for her. That's a 2 under par 70 for this year's Doosan Match Play champion. feature groups all done, and well, it looks like we've got our weekend field pretty much set for this third major championship of the year. With that said, let's have a look at some highlights from today, and we'll start with the morning wave of players. A fine shot into the third hole. Park Min-ji started the day with a share of the lead. Quickly took it by herself with that nice birdie, taking her up to 5 under. Lee Sung also played in the morning wave, also had the putter working. That was back-to-back birdies after that fine wedge on the third. Good birdie there at the fourth. You can tell the greens had a little bit more release in them. That just dropping in for a much-needed eagle too. Ji Eun-hee showing that she can still hang out on home soil. A lovely two for Ji there. He's in a tie for the lead at this point. Jung Yi-sung, Park Min-ji dropping a shot. Jung Yi-sung can say thank you very much. I fancy the lead by herself. Shot that never left the pin on the par 3. That will be a birdie at the 5th for Jung Yi-sung. At the 9th, just coming towards the end of her round, Park Min-ji did find a birdie, and she would have another to close. A lovely round of 2 under par 70 and 6 under par total. And as afternoon play got underway, Atthaya Thitikul trying to work off that really good round of 68 yesterday morning. She found an early birdie to take her within 1 of Min-ji. Then at the 6th, Thitikul, well, she would start to have some problems. Did drop a shot. This was a par putt that slipped by. And all of a sudden found herself over par for day 2. And at the 10th, this was an eagle putt after finding the green with her tee shot. Wasn't to be, but a simple 2-putt birdie would move Atthaya Thitikul back up in the right direction before there were problems at the par 5 12. That was for par. It wouldn't go. And the tie started to take a tumble back the wrong way down the leaderboard. An Sung-hee had a lovely day going. This was a birdie putt at her final hole of the day, the par 4 9th. Went skating on by, leaving herself about 10 feet coming back, but she would manage that nicely. Just 1 bogey and 4 birdies in her round of 69. She'll be in the final group tomorrow with Jung Yi-sung and Park Min-ji. So that just about wraps it up for our Day 2 coverage here at the Hanwha Classic. Do join us for action from Moving Day. Will Park Min-ji continue to press her advantage at the top, or will we see some of the many talented players behind her make a move? Do join us then, and we'll see you tomorrow on the KLPGA Tour.